Now, I've done several videos about Miles Morales for a while now. Before all controversy that I'm going to get into in this video started, I talked about how, well, Miles Morales as a character is just basically a tokenized Spider-Man, tokenized Peter Parker. There's very little originality to the character, very little interest in the character. People need to understand that. A lot of people say, well, okay, after they watch the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse movie, which I watched it also. I rather like the movie. A lot of people suddenly decided that, Miles Morales was their favorite character and all of this sound and the other, even though they haven't been doing it. I mean, when is the last time somebody actually saw a Miles Morales comic? It's not very popular at all. They tried to push him, it didn't work. So Marvel decided to double down and decided to do this whole set of what if stories with it. I covered a few before it even came out. I covered about how they're going to make him Thor, they're going to make him Wolverine. I think there was also one where they're going to make him Hulk, and there's another one where there's an evil version of him, but the evil version is basically Miles Morales' name backwards. It's really rather stupid. But that's what you get when you keep screwing around with the multiverse and you don't know when to stop. So this is it. However, I saw this with the Miles Morales comic, the What If comic, where they decided to make him Thor. And I saw the controversy that came out over it. I decided to wait a little bit before I did a video on it because I wanted to see exactly what was going to happen. And what exactly I thought was going to happen, happened. This article from Bounding into Comics. Marvel Comics draws fire for stereotypical depiction of Miles Morales Thor, Hood Asgard in latest issue of What If. Yeah. Marvel Comics has managed to unite readers across every possible spectrum with their latest issue of What If, as nearly absolutely everyone found themselves either baffled or offended over the publisher's take on an Asgardian version of Miles Morales. Now, I covered this before, like I said, it's a pretty stupid design. Very, very stupid. The Rainbow Bridge has graffiti on it, he has Jordans on. Mjollnir has graffiti on it. He's got a hood, tattoos, a fade, the whole works. Written by self-professed Mexican Jewish author Yehudi Mercado as part of the current volume's overarching answers to the question as put forth by the publishers, what if Miles Morales was based on a different Marvel superhero other than Spider-Man? It's ridiculous because Miles Morales as Spider-Man doesn't make much sense if you really think about it. And then when you go through this whole what if thing now, I said it was pretty stupid to begin with. Though Marvel undoubtedly expected to receive a wave of praise for their latest attempt to milk their half-black, half-Latino replacement for Spider-Man, originally conceived as part of the Ultimate Universe before being eventually transported over to the 616 as part of the publisher's Marvel Now initiative to diversify their line. They were instead met with a wave of criticism over Mercado's writing, and reason being is true. Look at this, you give him a fade here, and pretty much every line, everything he says is some kind of rap. Here it is. He's got style, he's got flair to boot. With his kicks, he's in hot pursuit. Old enough to know that he don't know all. He wants to have a ball before the fall. All his dreams rain from the clouds above. He brings the thunder. Believe it, bruh. Jesus, Father. Hey, look at this next one. Asgard. Of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood. For miles you can see he's just that good. The Rainbow Bridge takes him to his quest. The Bifrost line goes north, south, east, and west. From Jormungand to the Wrecking Crew. He's stuck Gilthronbus in the Asgard Zoo. But he is low-key when he wants to be. Name on marquees like his uncle's low-key. Odin's son is the son of gods and kings. Got so many wins, check out all those rings. He's formerly known as a prince for sure. His subjects are friends. They just call him Thor. I mean, they pretty much turned Asgard into like Brooklyn. There's buildings there, graffiti on it. Look at this. There's sneakers on this telephone line there. Miles looks completely stupid in this getup. I mean, I don't know. There's somebody in a car with a goat pulling it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't even stop there. He uses terms like, hammer time and you can't touch this. And time to spin these hits. Now that's a banger. And right up in your face and diss you. Like it's time to spin these hits. Now that's a banger. Right up in your face and this. Yeah, again. And then even this ain't no party like an Asgard party. Because an Asgard party don't quit. Light it up. And it's really bad when even the shill sites like CBR has to report on how it is. Miles Morales fans, I don't know about that, decry what if Thor issue for perpetuating harmful black stereotypes. Yeah, and this is what a lot of people had to say about it. What if Miles Morales Thor, already the worst and most racist comic of 2022? Everything about Miles Morales Thor has me reeling from disbelief that it was made in 2022, and it doesn't help that the creator doubled down on criticism by blaming, horniness. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to be. Deep, long black comic reader sigh. Alright, so that Miles Morales Thor story was okay. There are reasons why black people keep asking for black characters to be written by black writers and drawn by black artists. That Miles Morales as Thor comic is legit one of those reasons. Now, my thing is, a lot of these people, I'm sure, do not read comics. I doubt they have ever picked up some of them, I'm guessing a large majority of them have never picked up a comic. They just jump in on the bandwagon with this. But actual comic readers will be upset. But still, here's this one. I don't usually side with reactionaries on this app, but the what if Miles Morales was Thor comic feels racist. Like contrast this issue with the what if T'Challa was Star-Lord to illustrate what they could have done and what they did instead. Now, let me tell you something. Like I said before, I reviewed this before it even came out. I said it was going to be stupid. I am not going to sit here and say I'm offended and I feel it's racist. I think no. And I will tell you why, because I know for a fact this is how they view black people. This is it. There is nothing in these comics, whether it be Marvel, whether it be DC, to show that anybody likes what they do anymore. These so-called writers are just bloody activists. That is all that they are, a bunch of woke activists. You hire these people, and the thing about it is that some people will ask how this even got published, because it has to go through, the writer has to do it. Then it has to go through the editorial team before it gets sold. But when you have the writer and the editors are the same kind of woke activist lunatics, what do you expect? This is not a problem that is unique to Marvel. You get it with DC as well. You get it there. I mean, DC is the one in control of this so-called rebooted Dakotaverse. And when I did my video on the Static series that they rebooted, it was the same thing. You see, you can't have people who sit inside all day. The only people that they interact with are people like themselves who have the same thought pattern with the same activist group. You understand me? The only outside interaction that they have are the people on Twitter who agree with them. They don't go out and talk to people. They don't look at people. They don't go in. They don't interact with people. They probably the only so-called people of color that they have any interaction with are the same people who are on the same wavelength as them. So they put out garbage like this. And when these media sites, these so-called shill media sites, agree with them because this was what Screen Rant put out a few days ago. Thor Miles Morales is Marvel's best new character in years. You understand me? Marvel's newest story combines the best parts of Miles Morales and Thor to create the company's best new character with his own unique personality. This is why you cannot trust anything these media sites have to say anymore. They don't investigate, they don't give you honest interpretations of anything. They have their corporate overlords who tell them, listen, put this down because we must do anything Marvel or DC puts out must be fantastic. So they do it. They don't ask questions. And instead, you get nonsense like this, where you have Miles Morales behaving like, in some kind of rap music video. With Thor, Miles Morales as Thor makes no sense. And this is my problem when it comes to it. So I am not shocked by this because I know how these people think of us. I know how people think of myself. I'm a black man. I've never spoken like this in my life. I know a lot of people would never do this. But you don't go out and actually interact with it. People will say that no, it should only be written by black people. No, because the people who they hire are the same woke activist types. Rather than they hire actual writers who like what they're doing. You have entire companies, whether it be Marvel and DC, you use the name too, who are filled with people who don't like the characters that they're writing. And you see it in their work. They don't like them. They use them as excuses to push their own activist nonsense down your throat, but they don't like their characters that they're writing. They despise them, openly despise them. Because why? They think it's a problem for anything like this. So when they put out things like this, and it's borderline racist, as some people will say, it's not shocking to me because I called this early on. This is stupid. This what if Miles Morales thing is ridiculous. When you are just lazy one, and creatively bankrupt, you put out nonsense like this. And now keep in mind, the writer who was defending himself to begin with for doing this nonsense, then turn around and say that, okay, he apologized and he's going to donate his payment for this to charity. Probably not going to be much. But he's going to donate it to charity. How is that helpful for anything? It doesn't matter because let's not forget when Jason Aaron did his Conan and he had Princess Mataoka, right? People came on and said that that is a name of Pocahontas and why is he sexualizing a child? A completely different character. He went to it. There wasn't the kind of backlash that he was getting with this. But this is just plain stupid. I call it what it was. It's stupid. Miles Morales as Thor is ridiculous. Absolutely flicking ridiculous. You have him here. The Rainbow Bridge has graffiti on it. His hammer has graffiti on it. He has Jordans. I mean, he has a fade. He's walking through it. Asgard is his hood. This is just idiotic. That's what this is. Idiotic. Bunch of people who don't care, just putting out rubbish and expecting you to like it. And these so-called sites try to act like, following it along. Look, I called it on this people. I knew it was going to be nonsense. I expected this kind of ridiculous backlash because why? It's not about anything about writing good stories anymore. They just don't care. These companies are filled with people who do not like the characters and who do not respect or like you as fans. And real comic book readers, the ones who know, know what it is. Because somebody asked me once, why are all my videos I put out always kind of negative? Yeah, I said to them, you ever something that maybe there's just nothing good anymore to talk about? This is the kind of nonsense you're getting. Marvel is just like DC. When I do my reviews for it, yes, you see more Marvel comics. When I do my monthly review to comics, the top 50 and thing. Yes, you see more Marvel comics than DC, but that is only comparable to the comic industry. Nobody's buying these things anymore, you know. Nobody's buying these comics anymore. When's the last time anybody actually read an Iron Man comic? Because if they turned Iron Man into a literal pussball, that's what it is. They don't like their characters anymore. I mean, God forbid they talk about what is happening with the X-Men. Nobody even knows anymore. When you could put out nonsense like this and it could get past the editorial team, it tells you these companies are filled with nothing but woke activists who don't care what they put up, because as far as they're concerned, this is what you deserve, this is what you like. That's it. Not shocking to me. Let's wait and see what happens when they put out Miles Morales as Wolverine. Let's see then. If you like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.